lot with all that's been going on, people mobilizing out in the streets. They would have been out there, the young folks making signs. Talking to her sister Jeannie reminded me, I met her 23 years ago around this time. Okay. And yeah, to think Chinatown. This energy just feels like kind of what maybe the basement was like. So this is Basement 199, written October 26, 1975. And I think it reminds us of a lot of things, but for one, all this happened in interdependence and coalition building with other communities of color, particularly the Puerto Rican community on the Lower East Side. Here we go. Getting the electricity hooked up in the loft has been one experience. It all started by calling Chino, who told me to get Bimbo, who hooked me up with Angelo, who took days to reach and days to get up to the loft. Went down to 6th Street the other night where Bimbo was working with Rabbit, Chino, Luis, Elsie, mixing cement to put cinder blocks into the building windows. Teatro was in the process of buying from the city, fireproofing it from the vandals. Back and forth, I walked from 6th Street to the stoop on 3rd Street where Angelo was waiting for the babysitter to come and watch his 2 kids. Finally, by 2:30 a.m., Bimbo came instead to 199 to test out the electrical lines by flashlight, promising to come back the next day with Charlie, his electrician friend, to design the new electrical lines. When we were in the loft, I said, Bimbo, it scares me, this space. I told him what other people were telling me, that the space was too big. Bimbo said, it's all in the dream. We've got to go to keep the dream honest and pure, and if that was the focus, then it would work. That it was going to take sacrifices and a lot of hard work. If you weren't afraid of work, then you had nothing to fear, and there will be people who will tell you that you are crazy and all kinds of ugly things for all kinds of reasons, but if you feel that it's the right time, then you put everything into the dream. There's no holding back. He says, Fay, look here, you can start some small industry to pay the rent or have parties. That's it. We'll come help you raise the rent money. What is $800? Many things will happen. I asked him how he had decided to become a poet. He said he had gone to CCNY, got his master's working under a fellowship with 11 years at the Transit Authority at night and was making $20,000, raising a family. But it was time to put all that aside and to work on his dream for teatro. He had heard about Jorge Brandon, a sign painter, who kept a storefront on Pike Street and read poetry in the streets, this old man. They challenged each other to a duel of words and tried to out-recite one another on East 6th Street, while people threw things at them from the windows above, telling them to shut up. And they went on and on for hours until they both called it a draw. Jorge started training Bimbo by sitting in a bathtub through 2 months of summer while Bimbo was working on his and Margie's apartment, talking about writing, about a vision of theater for the people. All through the summer he talked and Bimbo wrote. Then Jorge officially named Bimbo a poet, and they got a storefront on 6th Street. El Coco que habla, a prophet, a poet, El Teatro Ambulante. Bimbo said he came to the decision to quit his job, the security. He sat down with his family and his older daughters said, yeah, Daddy, we're behind you. So he says, you know, Faye, it comes to 14 cents an hour, but we have to do it. We have to give it a try. Go for broke. And if we make mistakes, at least we would have tried and learned from it. Walking back to 6th Street from Bimbo, carrying a pail full of tools for Chino and the work on the building, I told Bimbo I felt much better having talked with him. He said, you know the way they had it. We were never meant to meet, and here we are. On 6th Street at 4 in the morning, people from Teatro Ambulante, Charas, 4th Street I were frying salted fish pancakes on cinder blocks, warming hands, bodies from the flames, continuing the work. I left walking down 1st Avenue, heading back to the loft, thinking about the dream of Basement Workshop, an Asian American cultural center with music, dance, pictures, oral histories, and stories to be told and written by little children, young people, and older men and women my parents' age, working, learning, and laughing with all kinds of people from many parts of the city, the country, the world, and this part of the universe, this lifetime. Too many people are too often broken down and brokenhearted to have and to believe in dreams, afraid to take risks. If we do not have visions, then what is the use of all this? We must feed the dream.